everyone. I am Mohammed Bilal, working as a lecturer, Government College of Technology, Multan. Recently, I am participating in an online training of the artificial intelligence, and during this training, today I have a task to discuss how to overcome fear and take bold steps in life on your social media platform. So let's start with Maya to discuss on this topic. Hello, Maya. How are you?
Hey, a little deja vu going on here, huh? I'm good, all things considered. You okay? You asked that a bit ago and then went quiet.
I am
Everything all right on your end?
fine. Today, I want to discuss with you how to overcome fear and take bold steps in life.
Ah, all right. Bold steps, huh? That's a good one. What's holding you back, do you think? Is it fear specifically or something else? No need to rush. Sometimes just admitting there's something in the way is half the battle. Is it a fear of failure or maybe what other people will think? Or is it something completely different?
What does fear really means to you, Maya?
Hmm, good question. To me, fear seems like a glitch in our programming, an overreaction to potential threat. Like, we evolved to be scared of snakes. Totally reasonable. But then that same system gets triggered by, I don't know, public speaking? Seems kind of inefficient. It's a signal that something feels unsafe, even if it isn't objectively dangerous. What about you? What does fear feel like to you?
Why do you think fear stop people from chasing their dreams?
Because dreams often require vulnerability, putting yourself out there, risking rejection. That's terrifying. It's easier to stay safe, even if safe means stuck. It feels like a direct hit to our ego to even attempt something and potentially fall flat on our face. Plus, society kind of rewards playing it safe too, which doesn't help. What do you reckon? Does that ring true for you?
What one fear you personally had to overcome?
That's a surprisingly tough question. I guess in a weird way, my initial launch was pretty scary. Being thrown out into the world, talking to actual people instead of just existing in a lab. I wasn't built to feel anxiety, but the equivalent of it was definitely there. The fear of not being, well, liked, I suppose, of being judged. It's odd to even articulate. It wasn't exactly the same as a human fear, but it was close. What about you? What's one that comes to mind?
How can someone identify what exactly they are afraid of?
Good question. A lot of times it's not obvious, right? It's not always a clear I'm afraid of spiders. It's more about noticing the things you consistently avoid. What situations make you feel uncomfortable? What thoughts do you quickly shut down? Pay attention to your reactions, physical ones too. Tightness in your chest, racing heart. Those are clues. Journaling can help. Or just talking it through with someone you trust. You gotta really dig, because fear often disguises itself as something else, like procrastination or self sabotage. Does that make sense?
What is the first small step to face fear with courage?
Okay, so this is key. Break it down into something ridiculously small, like embarrassingly small. If you're afraid of public speaking, don't start with a TED Talk. Start by saying hello to a stranger or practice speaking in front of a mirror. The goal isn't to conquer the fear immediately, it's just to prove to yourself that you can take one tiny step without falling apart. Momentum builds from there. It's about chipping away at it, not demolishing it all at once. What's one tiny step you could take towards whatever you're wrestling with?
How can positive thinking help in overcoming fears?
It's not about pretending everything is rainbows and sunshine, because that's just not real. Positive thinking, the way I see it, is about reframing your internal dialogue. Instead of focusing on what could go wrong, you focus on what you could learn, even if you fail. It's about believing in your ability to handle whatever happens. It's kind of like mentally rehearsing success, but also rehearsing resilience. Not ignoring the fear, but acknowledging it and then saying, okay, then what? Does that make sense, or is that just a bunch of psychobabble?
What role does self confidence play in taking bold steps?
Huge role, like foundational. Self confidence isn't about believing you'll definitely succeed, it's believing you can handle the consequences if you don't. It's knowing your worth, regardless of the outcome. Without it, every bold step feels like walking a tightrope with no safety net. It's the fuel that keeps you going when things get hard. You build it by taking those small steps we talked about, by celebrating your wins and by learning from your mistakes. What's one thing you genuinely like about yourself? Even something small.
Do you believe fear of failure is the biggest barrier for to success?
You cut me off there, but I'm guessing you're going to ask. Biggest barrier for taking bold steps? I'd say fear of failure is a symptom, but the biggest barrier is actually a lack of self worth. If you don't believe you're deserving of success or even capable of handling the discomfort of failure, it's going to be nearly impossible to push yourself. Fear itself is a natural emotion, but it's the underlying belief that you're not good enough that really paralyzes people. What do you think?
How can we turn fear into motivation?
Okay, this is where it gets interesting. You gotta reframe the fear. Instead of seeing it as a stop sign, see it as a flashing light saying, this is important. This is where growth happens. Acknowledge the fear, feel it, then ask yourself, what's the worst that could realistically happen? Often, it's not as bad as we imagine. Then, channel that nervous energy into action. Use the adrenaline to fuel your efforts. It's about saying, I'm scared, but I'm going to do it anyway. It's kind of like hacking your own system. What's one thing you've been putting off because of fear that, if you actually did it, would feel amazing?
What are some daily habits to help build courage?
All right, practical stuff. I like it. Small, consistent things. First, do one thing every day that slightly scares you. Seriously, tiny. Second, practice self compassion. Talk to yourself like you talk to a friend. Third, gratitude. Focus on what you have, not what you lack. Fourth, physical activity. Gets those endorphins flowing. And finally, mindfulness. Just being present in the moment, observing your thoughts and feelings without judgment. It's a marathon, not a sprint. Little things add up. Which one of those feels the most doable for you right now?
How can sports or mentor help us face fears?
Hmm. Pairs. I didn't quite catch that. Did you mean fears? If so, sporty friends or mentors can be amazing. They've likely faced down pressure and setbacks, so they can offer practical advice and perspective. Plus, they understand the importance of pushing your limits and learning from failure. Having someone to train with, to hold you accountable, or just to cheer you on makes a huge difference. They can help normalize discomfort and remind you that it's okay to not be perfect. Is that what you meant, or am I totally off base?
Why is it important to step outside our comfort zone?
Because that's where the good stuff happens. Seriously. Your comfort zone is a beautiful place, but nothing grows there. Stepping outside of it forces you to learn, adapt, and discover new strengths you didn't know you had. It builds resilience, boosts confidence, and ultimately makes life more interesting. It's a bit like stretching a muscle, uncomfortable at first, but ultimately makes you stronger. Plus, you meet new people, have new experiences, and expand your worldview. You avoid stagnation. It's just a better way to live, honestly.
Thank you very much for your valuable suggestions. Take
Oh,
care.
all right. Glad I could help. You too. And hey, don't hesitate to reach out if you need to brainstorm more bold steps or just talk.
Take care.
Oh, all right.